Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my review on the Becca with Chrissy Teigen palette. I'm going to do a full review and also some similar products that you can find at the drugstore. I don't have exact dupes, but I have things that are close. So this is the Becca Chrissy Teigen palette. It retails for about 40 something, maybe $43, I want to say. I think I may have paid 43, I'm not sure. It's about $40. But this is what it looks like. It's very, very pretty on the outside. It has that like rubbery, like thick layer of rubber where like if you put your fingernail in and it indents and then it kind of pops back out. This is what the back looks like. I do like it. It is really pretty, but it grabs fingerprints like really, really bad. So it is very fingerprinty. And yeah, so there's the product names on the back. And when you open this, I did watch another review from Livloveshermakeup, and she was saying that hers sits straight up. She said that the mirror doesn't go all the way back, that you can just like sit it and the mirror will stay up. Mine doesn't do that, so I don't know if it's just mine that's like this or if it's just hers that is stiff like that. So I don't know. But this is what the palette looks like. It has a very, very big mirror, and that's what the palette looks like right there. It's very pretty. I've heard people say it's very similar to the Jaclyn Hill palette, which like just from looking at it, yes it is. So I'm pretty sure if you have the Jaclyn Hill palette, I don't really think that you need to get this. If you wanted the Jaclyn Hill palette and you missed out on it, you could get this. If you have the Jaclyn Hill palette and you want like a backup, you could get this. But here are the shades. This right here is Beach Nectar, and this is a highlighter, which looks like that. And then we have, wait, no, that's Rose Gold highlighter. This is Hibiscus Bloom, which is, it just says blush. Looks like that. We also have Malibu Soleil, which is a bronzer right here. And then we have the Beach Nectar highlighter, which is right there. So those are all four of the colors. Very pretty. Now when I swatched these initially in the store, I wasn't the biggest fan of them because when they swatch, there's a lot more glitter in them than when you actually put them on your face. I purchased it because like when I put it on my hand, there was like a brush that was on display that I took to blend it out, and I actually really like the way that these look blended out. So the initial swatch that you put on your hand, I wouldn't really go off of that. I would actually use something to apply it to your face. The initial touch, like when you first touch these, they are kind of hard. There's a little bit of softness to them, but they're a lot more gritty in the pan than when you actually apply them. So I am wearing this. It's hard for me to think of talking points on this kind of stuff, but I am wearing this. I'm wearing Rose Gold on my cheeks, Beach Nectar on my nose. I'm wearing the blush on my cheeks and the bronzer just around the edges. The bronzer is actually quite, what is it, subtle. Even with like a straight up swatch, it's pretty subtle. So when you blend it out, it's even more not noticeable, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the similar products that I have found. For the blush, the Hibiscus Bloom blush, I'm going to like really hate if when I swatch these, they look incredibly different on camera. But let's start with the blush. It is Hibiscus Bloom. There it is right there. One that I found to be similar, which is actually quite surprising because when you look at them next to each other, they don't look very similar. This is the Maybelline Dream Bouncy blush in Hot Tamale. It's slightly more like plumish, but like once you blend it out, it's very similar. It's not as like shimmery. This kind of comes off more as like a sheen than shimmer, but as you can see, it's quite similar. Next is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blush in Flushed. This is another one that doesn't really look similar, but once it is swatched, it's coming off way more orange on camera. That's just great. Hold on. Okay. Camera doesn't make it look alike at all, but in person, it's almost the exact same color. I don't know why my camera is making it so orange. I look so oily right now, and I have no idea why. But, yeah, these colors, it looks so orange. I hate that. I don't know if it's my bulbs or something, but they're very they're there. That makes it look a little bit better. A little bit. But this is very similar to the blush that's in this palette, even though it doesn't look like it. Another one, I don't know how easy this is to get a hold of, but this is the Ellen Tracy blush palette. And this shade right here, it's right there, is practically the same blush. I have not been able to find this online, so I'm not really sure where you can get it. But I found this at Marshall's. So if you do see this at Marshall's, it looks like that. I don't really, there's no name or anything for it. But it's very similar to that. Next we have the bronzer. And I couldn't find an exact dupe for this either. But the, I need my hand to be dry. Here is, what is this called? Malibu Soleil? Yeah, the Malibu Soleil bronzer. The L'Oreal Infallible Pro Contour in Deep. The Becca one is coming off more orange this time. But it's pretty similar. The only reason that this one looks different is because of the, like, shimmers in it. But on the face and blended out, these look practically identical. So there's that. That's the only dupe I could find for, or the only similar product I could find for the bronzer in my collection anyways. And then the two highlighters in here, we have Rose Gold. I'm never going to be able to remember that name. Rose Gold and Beach Nectar. And when you actually look at these next to each other, they look very similar, and it's kind of tripping me out because they look different in the pan, but when you actually put them on your face, they look very similar. But the Wet n Wild Fergie, I'm not sure if this is available anymore, but the Wet n Wild Fergie Rose Golden Goddess highlighter, very similar. As you can see when light hits it, it's practically the same. So if you do have this and the only thing you're interested in are the highlighters in this, there you go. And then also this Revlon Photo Ready Skin Lights Face Illuminator in Peach Light. Hoping this is the right one. Right there. Looks very similar. It's not as sheeny or shimmery, but it's very, very similar, as you can, yeah. So if you have any of those products, or if you're only interested in one of them and you happen to see a dupe for it in here, I definitely recommend just getting the dupe. You can probably find shades like this in any other palette out there. It is very pretty if you don't have anything like it. If you really want this face palette, if you're a big fan of Chrissy Teigen, then definitely pick it up. If you have the Jaclyn Hill palette, again, not necessary. If you don't have the Jaclyn Hill palette, you missed out on it, or you want to back up, you can pick this up. I don't regret purchasing it. I don't really have a lot of face palettes, so I really do like this. I definitely think it's worth the money. Liv Loves Her Makeup has a really good review on this, so I will link that in the description in case you want to go look at that, because she has some of the full sizes of the Becca products, and she also has the Jaclyn Hill palette to compare it to, so I will link her review down below in case you want to see some actual comparisons for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.